Welcome back, everybody. Take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. How's it going?
Wonderful. It's a little crisp here in New York. The weather's finally changing. Finally.
Flooding.
It's fall.
Flooding, raining, everything.
I know.
Yeah,
it's everything.
I hear you. What's the next show you're doing, Alex?
Emerald City. I'll be at Emerald
When
City.
is that? When
in
is that?
December. It's the first week in December. And then C2E2 is the second week of December. So I'll be gone for half the month.
Oh, I may have some books for you. I may have some books for you that I need.
Let me know. I'm going. I have some money to spend.
Cool. All right. So what are we going to talk about today, Alex?
We're going to jump into one of my favorite topics, Star Wars. Talk a little High Republic with Avar Kriss. We're going to talk a very popular underground. I don't know. It's indie, but Fringe, the TV show. There's a lot of rabid fans out there. And there was a comic book, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little Killer Frost if you're an Arrowverse fan. And then I think one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, the Doppelganger, the Spider Doppelganger.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that one's on. Yeah, there's a lot of Doppelgangers, but that one. Okay. Yeah. All right. What do we got first, Alex?
Let's talk Avar Kriss.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the same question I always ask you. Why are these books going crazy, Alex? Who's Avar Kriss?
I mean, when you're talking about Star Wars, everything's on the table, right? Everything. You never know what the Mandalorian and the TV shows are going to bring about. The new Star Wars publishing kind of wing, the novels, audiobooks, kids books, YA, and comic books. It's all the High Republic right now. High Republic is about 400 years before A New Hope. So we're talking way before the Skywalkers. Not the only person that you would recognize is Yoda, and he's very young, and he's barely in the series. A bunch of new Jedis. It's all, the High Republic is all about the height of the Jedi Order, and Avar Kriss is the leader essentially. She is the main head Jedi in this series.
And she's going to be appearing in any of these TV shows or anything, or
I don't think so. But I mean, all they have to do is say, "Oh, we're doing a movie called Star Wars: The High Republic," and that's it. It's game over.
Right. Got it. Okay. So Star Wars: The Rise of Kylo Ren #3 came out in April of 2020. It's got a Clayton Crane cover.
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast.
Right.
208 blue label, 45 gold label, 9.8. That's about $100 book. First appearance of Avar Kriss in the cameo Charles Soule story and Will Sliney. I like Will Sliney.
Will Sliney's great.
Yeah, he came to our show in Seattle.
All
the way from Ireland, right?
Ireland, yeah. That was a long trip.
That's a long flight, Alex. Okay. Stefano Landini, 1 in 25 variant cover, 41 blue label, 0 gold label, 9.8, $650, Alex.
Not cheap at all.
And then the second print Will Sliney cover, 54 blue label, 0 gold label, 9.8. That's about $80 to $100. So if you can find this Landini 1 in 25, boy, $650, Alex.
These were the Rise of Kylo Ren books were not under ordered. These are high ordered. And I think Charles Soule just recently mentioned it that like a lot of the characters, the Knights of Ren and more characters in those books are going to be showing up in other things. So
got it. All right. What do we got next, Alex?
Fringe, the X-Files / sci-fi kind of crossover TV show with Dawson's Creek star Joshua Jackson. Yeah, Joshua Jackson.
Josh Jackson. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
So here's what's interesting about these books is the regular issues, the regular covers have basically no value. So we're not even going to bother talking about them.
Yep.
They did these variant covers, and the variant covers have gone absolutely bonkers.
Right.
And they're all these homage covers.
Yep.
The first issue is a photo cover, which we'll talk about in a second. But the other ones have all these really cool homage covers. And Alex, they've exploded in value. Any explanation as to why?
How many of your friends do you know bought the Tales from the Fringe comic book? The answer is probably none of them. This is a very niche. It's a niche. I mean, we've talked about like same thing with like the Supernatural DC comics. They're very, very expensive and hard to find. because it's printed, it's put out in the world, they put a trade out, and then see you later, it's gone. It's for the fans. If you become a fan of Fringe and you want to buy Fringe merchandise, there's not a lot out there, but there's comics. Try to find them.
Okay, so issue number 1, not going to talk about the regular cover, the 1 in 10 photo cover.
Right.
0. This is an interesting pop. 0 gold labels, 0 blue label, 9.8s. There's 199.
Wow.
And it's a $50 raw book. It's got a photo cover of Josh Jackson, Anna Torv, and John Noble. Yep. Very cool. By the way, Anna Torv and John Noble, you can actually meet at a show and get them to sign it. Josh Jackson, I don't believe has ever done it.
We'll see. There'll be a Dawson's Creek reunion show. I'm sure they'll need some money soon.
Okay, so number 2. Well, he also just married Jodie Turner Smith.
Oh wow, yeah, she's very famous. Yeah, they're okay. They're doing okay.
Yeah. Okay. So she's amazing. She's fantastic. Okay. Okay. So Tales from the Fringe number 2, regular issue. I'm not going to talk about the 1 in 10 Death of Batman homage cover of Superman numbers. So instead of being Superman, it's an homage to the Superman 75 black cover.
Right.
They did a Death of Batman 1 in 10 cover.
Right.
I don't know where this homage came from. September of 2010, 10 blue label, 0 gold label, 9/8. There's 199 and there's 110.
Wow.
There is those are $350 and they're $200 raw.
Good.
$200 raw. Can't find them. Okay. Issue number 3.
Talk about the Fringe of comic collecting.
Issue number 3. And by the way, these books are hot.
Yeah.
They're selling. Issue number 3 is the 1 in 10 Superman Man of Steel Returns cover, which is an homage to the Dark Knight Returns number 1 cover.
Right.
Okay. October of 2010, 9 blue label 9.8s, 0 gold label 9.8s. There's 3 9.9s. That's a $300 raw book.
These are high. These are high for 9.9s. Like this is,
you can't find them.
This is crazy. These are crazy numbers.
Can't find them. Okay. Tales from the Fringe number 4. Forget about the regular issue. They're $5. You'll find them in the dollar bins.
Yeah.
The 1 in 10 Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7 cover. Homage. Okay. November of 2010, July. There are 7 blue label, 1 gold label 9.8. That's about a $200 raw book. That's a Carlos de Anda and George Perez cover. What's interesting is George Perez did the original cover.
Yep.
And I think he did the inking to Carlos de Anda on this cover. Okay.
Wow.
Fine. And then the last one is, I'm sorry, number 5, not the second to last one. Number 5, the 1 in 10 Justice League number 1 homage cover.
Wow.
December of 2010, 5 blue label, 0 gold label 9/8. That's a $100 raw book.
Jeez Louise.
And then number 6 is a Green Lantern number 76 homage cover, 1 in 10, January of 2011. 9 blue label, 0 gold label 9/8. That's a $200 raw book.
Oh,
These
my
books
goodness.
are crazy. Alex.
That's bananas. It's literally bananas. It's crazy. It's crazy. Again,
and I'm telling you, not everybody's up to date on those. Not everybody's up to speed on this, Alex.
That is a I'm going to the shop tomorrow to look through the bins just in case. I mean, again, these are books that probably weren't ordered high. I mean, they're not ordered high to begin with. So you put an incentive in front of it. Maybe every store just ordered 10 just to get the incentive. So that's 1 per store. 1,000 stores, maybe tops.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, Alex's pick of the week. What do you got for us?
So Stephen, you seem like a guy that plays Dungeons and Dragons all the time. Am I wrong? I play Dungeons and Dragons all the time. I was at a local comic book warehouse this weekend. I won't tell you who because I need to go back and get the rest of them. I don't want anybody to take them from me. But in their oversized, like oddball section, they had role-playing games from DC and Marvel from the 80s. Role-playing games were huge coming out of, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And both Marvel and DC had their own role-playing games. DC had, I forget the company who had DC, but they did a whole bunch of them. And they have modules. The modules are like thick paperback magazine size things, and it gives you kind of some history of what's going on, and then your characters play out the what's going on that module. So for example, there is one about the Watchmen, and this is like the only thing before Watchmen or the movie that DC ever used the Watchmen characters in as a merchandising tool. There was nothing for years. And that's a $30 module for that one. And then there's a bunch of them. Marvel had TSR, who TSR Dungeons and Dragons. So TSR made a whole bunch of them for their game, and they're also not the easiest to find. I mean, you can find them on eBay, but I mean, these are magazine-sized books. You could probably CGC them, no problem. There's probably sealed ones out there. I mean, these are game books that weren't used as collectibles. The art on the covers are fantastic. I mean, Dave Gibbons did the Watchmen one, so his art's on the cover and in the inside. These are fun collectibles that have original comic art on them, and I think people forget that they're out there. I mean,
so
do you remember those?
So before, after what you're talking about,
yes,
but before Funko,
yes,
there were the WizKids Hero Clicks.
Correct.
And we used to have exclusives at the show.
Yeah.
And there would be a stampede.
Yep.
For these Hero Clicks exclusives.
I remember buying boxes,
especially the big ones.
Big ones like the Sinestro in the yellow, and like
it was crazy.
They got bigger and bigger. Yeah. Gaming stuff.
Which one was the? Do you remember the dragon one? Which one was the dragon one? That one was
I don't remember. Because it wasn't just Marvel and DC. There was other types of characters. It
was crazy.
Ones. Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings maybe did some. Yeah.
Crazy. So what you said reminded me.
Yeah, gaming's huge.
All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk a little Killer Frost.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Alex. So why all of a sudden are people focusing on this Killer Frost character?
I'm unsure. So the character Killer Frost in the Flash, that is Snow. That she is now currently Killer Frost in the comics, but Caitlin Snow wasn't Killer Frost before the TV show. Killer Frost was a character that had two different names, Crystal Frost and Louise Lincoln. So it's weird that these books are going hot. The first appearances. I mean, Firestorm. I think we've talked about this in the past, where I think Firestorm has yet to kind of like maturate with DC. I mean, there's the DC shows on HBO are extremely popular. The kind of adult angles and Titans and Doom Patrol, people love that shows. I think you can start seeing that with Firestorm. He was in the Flash TV show for a little while, and then he was in the DC the Legends TV show. But I think it's just a character people love from the TV show. But yeah, it's crazy that the first appearance. I have one somewhere. I mean, I bought a full series of Firestorm for probably like $50 10 years ago. You know, it was just like, yeah, sure, I'll buy it and read them up on them. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. So yes, Alex. So Firestorm number 3, June of 78, 82 blue label 9/8, 2 gold label 9/8, 89 blue label and 9 gold label 9.6s. That's about a $350 book. Origin and first appearance of Killer Frost, Dr. Crystal Frost, Jerry Conway's story, Bob McLeod, Al Milgram, and Bob McLeod cover. There's also a very rare UK price variant. The other 3 to take a look at are Justice League of America, number 7.2. That's interesting with the numbering on those. November of 2013, 48 blue label, 17 gold label 9.8. There's actually 8 9.9s. That's about a $75 book, $10 raw. That's got a lenticular cover. The non-lenticular cover is about $10 raw. There's only 1 blue label in the pop. The second print only has 1 blue label in the pop. That's $18 to $20 raw. So the second print is, again, very, very hard to find.
Very hard.
All right. So what do we got? What are we finishing up with today, Alex?
We're going to jump back into the Infinity Saga stuff, and we'll talk about the Doppelgangers.
Yeah. So the one that seems to be jumping out is the Doppelganger Spider-Man, I think.
Correct.
There's a bunch of different Doppelgangers.
Bunch of different ones. But Spider Doppelganger is the only one that made it past, I think, the Infinity War. Yeah.
Right. So those are the ones we're going to talk about today. So talk about this Doppelganger character. What is this character?
So
Alex?
the Magus, who is essentially the doppelganger of Adam Warlock in the Infinity series, made doppelgangers of these Marvel superheroes, and they were all evil versions of themselves. The Spider-Man one was just like Spider-Man, but he had 8 arms. He had claws. He could use webbing that was like made from inside his body. And just, brainless villain. And I think it was just people love Spider-Man and Spider villains. So I think after all the rest of them are killed, they were like, oh, let's bring him back. Let's keep him in the universe for a while.
Right. Okay. Well, this is just an interesting observation because we're
Yep.
starting to see, you know, the money pour in on this.
Yep.
So Infinity War #1, June of 1992, 819 blue label, 196 gold label. Not surprising, right? That's why it's a $75 to $100 book. Gatefold wraparound cover, Jim Starlin story, Ron Lim and Al Milgram cover and art. Spider-Man #24, July of 1992. That has 140 blue label 9.8s, 7 gold label 9.8s. There's actually 3 9.9s. That's $100 to $150.
Not bad.
That's the first full appearance of the Doppelganger. And then the last book is Spider-Man Unlimited #1, May of 93, 1,485 blue label 9.8s, 97 gold label 9.8s, 2 blue label 9.9s. First appearance of Shriek as well.
Yep.
Carnage and Doppelganger appearance. And that's about $125 book today. So these are all books to keep an eye on for this Doppelganger Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Especially with the new Spider-Man movie. Who knows we're gonna see show up in that movie.
Right. All right. Thanks again for everybody joining us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field. And we will see everybody next time. Same bat time.
Same bat channel. Have a good one, guys.